Hello YouTube, this is Cornelius_X here, and today I will be giving you my unfiltered and unscripted concept video on how Sega should make the next Sonic Frontiers. So for one, we're going to start with like the core gameplay, which is like the pop-ins and stuff like that. So for example, if they was to make a next Frontiers 2, they need to fix the pop-ins because I'm telling you, when I first played Frontiers for the second time, especially the first time, I'm over here wondering, like, especially on KSN, like, how do I get the point A to point B? Like, literally, like, um, it took me like a few YouTube videos in the past to beat Chaos Island because I didn't know there was rails that led to said Chaos Emerald or maybe other puzzles or boss fights or whatever. So, I mean, when it comes to gameplay, they can like core gameplay. They need to fix the pop-ins to where you can see it. They don't even have to like it doesn't have to be a fix. They can just have it where it's like rendered in. Like you know how like older games, if they have to load it, everything kind of just pops out once instead of just loading in. Like they kind of just. I hope you know. I hope you know what I'm talking about, but I feel like they kind of just need to do that. Another thing is with core gameplay, they can add slightly harder puzzles or challenging. They don't have to be Tomb Raider or Uncharted level puzzles, but they can be a little harder. Next Sonic Frontiers 2, if that's even a freaking thing. But other than that, though, boss fights as well. Like base Frontiers before Final Horizon, Frontiers was like mad easy. Like arguably, if you don't know what you're doing in Chronos, and you're just upgrading and leveling Sonic, you can get most of his skill tree by then, or at least upgrade him by then, depending. But the point I'm trying to make though is that like before Final Horizon came in, the enemies and the like the enemy placements were dry. It was barely little to no enemies, like variety, and on top of that, the enemies was just really easy to beat anyway, especially with like the parry. But what you call it? Arguably, they should like Final Horizon, for example, they should implement and take that idea that they put and they made into the next game. So when the next game comes, like if it did come out, like normal enemies, mini bosses and actual bosses are like at that level. They give you a challenge, they move fast, they do a lot of weird stuff that they shouldn't be able to do, but they do anyway. That's what they should add in the next Frontiers 2 game or whatnot. It's just make the bosses and the fighting and everything really like it doesn't have to be like full on hard like I cannot beat this, but make it to where like the enemies give you a challenge, they make you at least sweat or at least pulls your attention away instead of just holding whatever. But now since I'm done with that topic, because that's basically all, boss fights aren't that bad. Now we can get into like actually like the combat area of this. So I have this massive like I guess semi theory or something, but what they could do concept. But what they could do is, for one, they can take inspiration from say Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And what they should do is, you know how in Shadow of the Tomb Raider they have um a skill tree with three different branches, right? They got the hunters where you gather resources, you got the serpent, which is the poison, offensive capabilities, and you got the orange side, which is the close up range of combat. They should have something around that level of a skill tree for Sonic, especially how much skills he has. For instance, one skill tree should be pure base speed. If you get like 30 skill, that's too much. But if you get like 20 skill points or 10 skill points, since it's the beginning of the game, if you get 10 skill points, you can get a speed blitz thing. If you collect say 20 rings, you can speed blitz like 3 to 5 enemies depending on your like ring meter. So 20, you can speed blitz maybe one or two. And then if you have up to a total of about, let's go on game mechanics, let's say 60 rings. If you're going 60 rings, you can um hit a maximum of like maybe 5 or 10 enemies in a row, but you have to control it. It's not automatic or whatever. And then that's just for the speed. That's just a concept for the speed side. For like the raw energy capability, like I would love them to have Sonic kind of tap into the chaos energy he has. Like he should be able to do stuff Shadow should do at this point. So they should have it where Sonic can use like Chaos Spear or some type of kinetic-ish chaos attack, something that's a bit of an offensive type thing as well. And they should have him also another branch as well where he has it's just pure chaos. Like it should be speed, energy projectile, and like a hacks like type skill tree. So for the hacks type skill tree, what they should do is they should do what Shadow Generations did and give you a time stop meter, and they should do the same for Sonic. So if you have about, since it's time stop, if you have about say 50 plus, if you have 50 rings, you can stop time for like say a good 5 seconds. But if you have like 100 rings or so, you can stop time for a good 10 seconds. But if that's a bit too, if that's a bit, that doesn't really sound right. So what I'm thinking is more of like, if, so a better example would be if you have, yeah, okay, 20 rings, you can stop time. 20 or 50 rings, you can stop time for about 5 seconds. But as a special ability that goes on that, if you can fight the boss without getting hit not once or anything like that, or you can do like 3 or 4 successful parries, you can do up to 10 to 15 seconds on a time stop, and you can use all of your obviously all of your abilities within it. He should be able to use, and then back on the speed part of the skill tree, he should be able to use all of his stuff from like Sonic and Sequence. He should be able to use speed break or something like that. I forgot, where he can like run so fast, like a perception based attack. Like you can slow down time for like a few seconds if you have about, like, oh no, it doesn't have to be really ring based. It can really just be like if you do successful like 2-3 perfect like frame rate perfect parries, you can speed break time or your perception around you. They'll give you a free easy one. And then for like maybe the energy projectile attacks, you can use like Sonic Wind, Sonic Boom, like, you know, his stuff from his base Frontiers, but kind of revamped or kind of a bit remastered a bit. Maybe that's a bit too far fetched. And then now for the Super Sonic part, Super Sonic himself should have, in my opinion, he should have all of the skill trees obviously that you unlocked, but he should have his own skill tree. So let's say you're playing the game, if you say beat all of the special stages or cyber stages, let's just say, in said game or hypothetical game we're talking about, you unlock 1 or 2 abilities depending on what the game wants you to, and they should be, so for one, if you was to unlock all of them, one should be full on chaos control. You can stop time for as long as you want, as long as you have enough rings to do so. So it's just a whole, like, you can stop time for as long as you want until you run out of rings. I feel like that would be pretty cool. And then like kind of have Sonic doing Chaos Blast, actually doing Chaos Control, like doing all of this like hacksy stuff, warp reality. Like you can, like, as a parry, if you have enough like ring energy or anything in your super form, or you like have enough rings, like think of it like the end in Final Horizon, where if you didn't have enough rings, you will lose your ring. Like you can lose Super Sonic. Think of it like that, but like if you have enough rings, you can warp reality, but you have to watch your ring counter because it drains about 100 for that. Like warping like large objects or stuff that can damage the boss. But I mean, other than that, like that's it. Sonic doesn't really need no like family tree of a skill tree to be good or whatever. Just make him a bit more shonen if they was gonna do that in the next Frontiers 2 if they're gonna make it. Now I'm gonna talk about world design. Now I believe now as a Sonic fan, so y'all won't be hating on me. I'm a glazer. What you call it? Sonic Frontiers has one of like just base Frontiers, or just in general have one of the like lamest designs. I thought it was gonna be at least your grassy stage, desert stage, your sky stage, and I don't know, like your lava stage or something, or I don't know, something. But what will be a really good concept is take inspiration from Unleashed. And you know the whole hub world thing? Like you can go around the whole world, the whole globe, Spagonia, Haluska, Shamar, stuff like that. They should have that, but literally open zoned. Like, yes, they may kill somebody's GPU and CPU, but they should have it like that. If they can already do an open world zone with Sonic and it's basically free roam, I mean, they can do that. They can have it. They don't have to, like, if it's a loading issue, they don't have to, like, do it where it's, like, you can access it. Just give it more of, like, kind of a bit of, like, replayability. Like, for instance, in Unleashed, if you was to beat Windmill Isle, you go to Spagonia, and then once you beat Spagonia, I believe the day and the night, you go to Aluska. But if you want to, you know, hit a certain stage back in Spagonia, you're gonna have to go back from Haluska back to Spagonia, beat a stage, so then you can progress further. Like, they should have like replayability as well in it, like make you backtrack. Now, I'm not saying they should make it as tedious as Unleashed, because Unleashed was really getting on my nerves with those amount of sun and freaking moon medals you had to collect. Because I'm like, why can't I just progress? But they should have it in that type of thing, like you have to go back, beat a certain amount of enemies, you get this skill, this next story. Like, make every island feel like something. Now, for the story, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot the story. I kind of just play them and skip them or whatnot, because I just like to get into the. But yeah, sorry about that. They cut a part of that video out. But like I was saying, I feel like they should have like a Sonic 06-ish story. Like, make the stakes a bit bigger. I'm not saying all of the stories are horrible and they don't know how to write it. Ian Flynn is writing good stories. He arguably writes like really good stories in the IDW. They need to just be more serious. And yes, Frontiers is serious, but I don't know. It's just a personal preference. Now, when it comes to the music should arguably be the same. Like, there's really nothing you need to change about it, because Sonic has one of the best music in gaming history, at least in my opinion. And one thing I left out as well from the core gameplay part of the video is that if they're gonna make an open world the way they are, like how Frontiers did it with cyberspace, if they have a stage anywhere like that, they need to fix those controls. Like, if they're gonna make another Frontiers 2, same gameplay or whatever, they're going to need to fix the controls, because the controls, I would rather play 06 any day of the freaking week, years, month, days, microseconds, femto, picoseconds of my life than play those cyberspace stages. Like, they were generally bad, and they need to make them a bit more Shadow Generation-ish. Like, the stages, they don't lack variety, whatever. Like, it's just a straight line. Like, most of them, you can just boost your way to the finish, like Forces. They need to make it, a stage can be linear. That's the point of a Sonic game. But you have different paths. Like, take Sonic 1 for an example. Like, or better off, I guess, Sonic CD. You had, like, obviously your bottom path, which is the horrible path to go on because you go slow. You got the middle path, which is the most balanced with a little bit of platforming, and you got the high path, which depending on the stage, it can be fast or slow. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Something a bit like alternate paths that brings you to here or connects to the main route that feels a bit more rewarding. Because cyberspace, you was just holding forward in RT. Like, if you're on Xbox, RT. But I mean, that's really it. I believe, like, in general, that is, like, really it about Frontiers. Like, if there's like a Frontiers 2, And I mean, if they're going, and I mean, another thing as well, I would love to see in the next Sonic game, period, or whatever. I would love to see more characters like Blaze or I don't know, Silver being a part of Sonic's, you know, story or something. I don't know because we don't really see them outside of the comics or whatever. You barely see them, but yeah, that's my video. It's a bit, unscripted, so that's why you're hearing all the ums. But if y'all guys agree, make sure to go in the comment section below and give your opinion. If you disagree, I'm here to kind of listen to everybody's opinions. Everybody has different opinions, and I would like to hear them. So yeah, if you agree with my concepts, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And Cranius out.